I've wanted to talk about this movie in particular for a while, but I just didn't quite know how to go about doing that. Because I can imagine that there's a lot of you out there that haven't seen this movie, or maybe even heard of it. So this isn't going to be an exploration, but more of a recommendation. So I'm not planning on spoiling too much here, because I really would like for you to explore and discover things about this movie on your own, just as I did. The movie is called Space Station 76. But before I go any further, I'd like to give you a warning up front here. Have you ever heard somebody say, it was a good movie, but it was a slow burn? Well, that's what this movie is. A deliberately slow-paced, character-centric movie, and although it is very funny...
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Well, it's the kind of funny that comes from feeling awkward. But it's also a very sad movie.
Do you ever feel like you're just floating around in space and there's no one there? I mean, no one there to check you, or I don't know, I mean, there's no family or friends, or I don't know. Do you ever feel crazy?
So what is Space Station 76 all about, you might be wondering? Like, what's the plot? Well, the plot in this movie is kind of like a clothesline simply for the characters to hang their interactions on. It's not a plot-driven movie, really. Emotions do all the driving. The movie focuses on the lives of the residents of Omega 76, a station in the outer reaches of space. Think of it like the Starlight Starbright trailer park in The Last Starfighter. You're out in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing to do, and nobody cares. However, business is not as usual aboard Omega 76, with the recent arrival of Lieutenant Jessica Marlowe, the brand new co-pilot/navigator, replacing the recently departed and mysterious Daniel. But that's just the catalyst, the spark, that sends all of these disparate characters on an emotional roller coaster and an unalterable course towards collision. Also aboard is Captain Glenn, maintenance technician Ted, along with his wife Misty, and their daughter Sunshine. Rounding out the main cast are the two social climbing residents of the station, Steve and Donna. The movie came out in 2014, and its setting's aesthetic is undeniably a take on the style of the 1970s, which gives the movie a kitschy charm, but that's just the surface. Beyond that, the movie is timeless, I think. And although the story machinations here can very much be applied to the suburbs and the social flux of that decade, I think what's going on with these people goes past the decade their fashions are mired in. It's just the setting, the 70s view of what the future could have looked like. The movie's really about loneliness. Well, and a lot of other things too. There's a lot of nuance here. The feeling that ties everyone and everything all together is a deep feeling of unrelenting loneliness. The people here have lost the connections that once bound them together, and now, as they all subtly search desperately for any kind of emotional connection, they put on a facade and smile and pretend like everything is okay. C'est la vie, right? By the end, people will come together, secrets will be revealed, and their lives will never be the same again. As the captain, Glenn Terry is not a very good one, at least not of late, as he is harboring a lot of pain and heartache and has developed quite an alcohol problem. Ted is caught in a lifeless job and a loveless marriage with his wife Misty, who has also developed an alcohol dependency, among other things. Stuck in the middle of this is their daughter Sunshine, who clings to memories of their past when they were connected and happy. The social climbers Steve and Donna are obsessed with moving to a place called Starship 8, a far-off, better-off place, full of amenities and consumer goods. Status. The promised land, which every character here hopes to get to one day. Now, I hope I didn't give too much away there, but that's the basic setup. The movie was directed by also actor Jack Plotnick, and you might recognize him from a bunch of other stuff. He wanted to tell a story about growing up in the 70s, but with the spin of setting it in the future, about suburbia, isolation, and claustrophobia. And as I've recently found out, Jack Plotnick also has a YouTube channel where he's uploaded a variety of different stuff, like acting advice and performance videos. And he's a character. I'm glad I stumbled across this because I've gotten to catch a glimpse at the man behind the camera. And I like him. I'm a Jack Plotnick fan. But I'm a fan of everyone here. They all do a great job. And for me, the two that really strike a chord are Patrick Wilson and Matt Bomer, who play characters that are both so broken on the inside, but act like they have it all together on the outside. And I can relate to that. It is both devastating and darkly funny at times. This is a movie that unfortunately hasn't been seen by enough people. The 70s Futuro spin of the movie gives it a fresh take on social commentary and has lots of relatable things to say about the foibles and pains of modern life on Earth, or in this case, outer space. You can pick it up on DVD, but you can also rent it to stream on places like Amazon and Vudu, so it isn't too hard to find. And now, like the lyrics of the song that opens the movie, it's time for me to go. Thanks for watching.